So you've seen the headlines, right? Refunds are bigger this year. You get excited, you open up that Where's My Refund tool, and nothing. Just that same old screen. If you're sitting there thinking, okay, seriously, why is my refund taking so long? You're in the right place. We're gonna break it all down. Let's jump in.
Yeah, this is the question, isn't it? And you know what? That feeling of frustration is totally valid. You're seeing these big, exciting numbers being thrown around in the news, but then you look at your own situation and it just doesn't match up. It creates this really stressful disconnect. So let's clear up all that confusion right now.
Here's the game plan for today. First, we're gonna tackle that big refund question head on. Then we'll separate what the news says from your reality. After that, we'll take a look behind the curtain at what I like to call the IRS processing highway. We'll pinpoint the real reasons for delays, and we'll finish up with a nice, calm takeaway.
So let's just start right there with that feeling. You know the one, that little cycle of hope and dread. When you check the app, you see no change and you feel that spike of anxiety. It is a super common experience, especially when all you're hearing about is how great refunds are this year.
And this number right here, this is pretty much the source of all the confusion. Early in the tax season, reports started coming out saying the average refund was around $2,476. Now, that's a big number, and it definitely sets a certain expectation. But what does that average really, truly mean for you?
Well, this brings us to probably the most critical point of this whole thing. We have got to separate the average refund you see in a headline from your specific individual tax situation. Because, spoiler alert, they are often two very, very different things.
You really just have to remember this. An average is not a promise. It's just a mathematical snapshot. It's what some of the very first people to file received. It is absolutely not a guarantee of what you'll get, or more importantly, when you'll get it.
So how does an average get skewed so high? Well, just look at this example. Imagine 5 different refunds. You've got a couple of smaller ones, one that's kind of in the middle, and then 2 really big ones. Well, those huge refunds are gonna pull that entire average way, way up. It doesn't mean everyone's getting a giant check.
All right, to really understand the timing of it all, I want you to picture the IRS processing system as a 2-lane highway. Seriously, this metaphor is the key to getting why some refunds fly through while others seem to be stuck in traffic, and it has nothing to do with size. So on our highway, there are 2 lanes. You got lane 1, the normal processing lane. This is the express lane. Your return comes in, everything matches up automatically, and whoosh, it flows right through. But then you have lane 2, the review lane. This is where the system flags something and says, whoa, hang on, we need an extra look at this. Maybe for verification, maybe for an identity check. Now, I really, really want to emphasize this point. Ending up in the review lane does not mean you did something wrong. It's a totally normal part of the process. It's designed to make sure everything is accurate and to prevent fraud. It just means your timeline is going to stretch out a bit because a person or a more detailed computer process needs to take a look. Okay, so let's connect this highway idea to what you're actually seeing on the IRS tool. There are basically 3 stages you'll see: return received, refund approved, and refund sent. And knowing what these actually mean is crucial for keeping your sanity. And here is the secret that trips everybody up. When that tool says return received, it just means they have it. That's it. It does not mean they're done with it. All that stuff we just talked about, the processing highway, all of that is happening while your status bar is just sitting there stuck on stage 1. So seeing it there for a while, totally normal. All right, so now we've kind of reset our expectations about the timeline. Let's dig into the specific things, the real culprits that can actually push your return into that slower review lane and cause a delay. First things first, we have got to permanently separate these 2 ideas in our minds. The size of your refund and the timing of your refund are 2 completely different things. The reasons refunds might be larger this year, things like inflation adjustments, have absolutely zero to do with how fast the IRS can process your specific return. One does not affect the other. So, what causes a general slowdown for everybody? Well, for one, just simple traffic, right? A huge volume of people filing all at once creates a jam. Second, there are standard verification steps for certain credits or types of income. And third, and this one's a big one, identity security checks. They're there to protect you from fraud, but they can definitely pause things until the IRS is sure you're really you. And speaking of that, if you get a scary-looking letter in the mail, like a letter 4883C, try not to panic. Honestly, think of it like getting pulled aside at airport security for extra screening. It's a delay, for sure, but its purpose is to protect you.
Once you verify your identity, things get back on track. It's just a security checkpoint. Okay, so beyond those general system-wide slowdowns, there are two major triggers that can delay your refund, and you won't even know it's happened. These are what I call the silent triggers because they happen behind the scenes. The first one happens when people get anxious. They don't see any movement on the app, so they panic and they file their return again. This is one of the absolute worst things you can do. It doesn't speed anything up. It just confuses the system, which now has to stop everything and figure out which return is the real one. It causes a massive delay. And the second silent trigger, it's the mismatch. You have to understand, the IRS computers are basically giant matching machines. They take all the numbers you typed in and they compare them against all the data they already have from your employer, your bank, everyone. If something doesn't line up perfectly, boom, it gets flagged for review. Here's a perfect example. Let's say your W-2 shows you earned $50,000, but whoops, you accidentally hit an extra zero and typed in $500,000. The system is going to see that mismatch instantly, hit the brakes on your refund, and send it straight to the review lane for a human being to untangle. A simple typo can bring everything to a grinding halt. Okay, that was a lot to cover, so let's bring this all home and wrap it up with a final takeaway that should hopefully give you a new, much calmer perspective on this whole waiting game. If you remember just one single thing from all of this, please let it be this. Your refund moves on a track that is determined by your return, your income, your credits, your filing method. It has nothing to do with news headlines about averages. Comparing your personal timeline to a news report is truly like comparing apples and oranges. So from now on, let this be your new mantra. A delay does not automatically mean there's a problem. More often than not, it just means your return is taking the scenic route through the review lane. It just needs a little more time to finish the journey. So what's the best strategy now? Honestly, just breathe. Maybe check the status once a day, max, and just let the system do its job. It really is working, even when it doesn't look like it. I'm actually curious, what stage is your refund in right now? Drop a comment below. Your experience might just help someone else feel a little more patient too.